do in lesson 2 is to continue using everyday materials and also objects from around the house to create a line drawing object. We're going to overlap the layers, overlap the drawings, and build up a line drawing pattern which you will then add colour to. So when you've completed the first stage of this lesson, this is the kind of thing that you're going to be working towards. Obviously yours is going to be different because you're going to have different objects and you're going to have a different drawing style. You will notice there that I've shown you 2 different versions of the same thing. So what I'm going to do next is to demonstrate the 2 techniques using a time lapse and some video footage. So the aim here is to fill the page with lots of different shapes. We're only going to be using line drawing, so no shading. I'm going to take a look around the room that I'm in. The first thing that happens to catch my eye, I'm just going to do a rough drawing of it, starting in the top corner. What's also important here, and you'll see as I continue to work on the piece, on the drawing, is to fill the page, go right to the edges. Don't worry about scale, and don't worry about it being accurate. In fact, as soon as it starts to look like the object that you're drawing, you can stop. In a minute, I'm going to show you a photograph of what it was that I was drawing. But like I said, just a few seconds, maybe a minute on each object, and then move on to the next. So you probably can't tell what this is. It is in fact the top of my water bottle. So as with the previous exercise, we're trying to create new shapes by overlapping. However, we've got a kind of wider surface area to work with, so I'm just going to overlap slightly on this edge. So I'm going to look around the room, probably to a different area, and I'm just going to take this line here, there, and as I said before, don't have to draw the whole object at all. It's fine just to take a couple of lines, couple of edges that catch your eye. What I'm going to show you now is how to arrive at the same outcome without using any observational drawing. What I've done here is I've just used the magazine that I picked up from the supermarket, and all we're doing, using tracing paper, is looking for interesting shapes and lines to build up the first stage, which you can then add colour to. So we're just going to start with a blank piece of tracing paper. I'm going to open up the magazine on a random page, start in the top corner, take that shape, move the magazine, look for another shape. You can use a combination of different magazines. You might want to use a newspaper, you can use a takeaway menu, you can use a book, just anything you've got around the house that's going to give you shapes, lines, patterns to trace. You could even use wallpaper, if you've got any of that. Packaging. See, I'm getting a lot of similar shapes here. But again, that's not a problem. Not drawing the whole object. Okay, so what I've got here, so we've got the objects and then also the price. I'm just going to make that into one shape. Overlapping. An artist's work I'd recommend having a look at before you start stage 2 is Alighiero Boetti's. He created this tapestry called Tutti, or Everything, combining different coloured outlines of everyday objects. So what we're going to do now is add colour, much the same as before. It's totally up to you what you use. You can do patterns, you can do stripes, polka dots. So I've got a few different examples of line drawings. I'm just going to show you some different techniques and different ways, hopefully give you some ideas of how to fill your own with colour. You might choose to use charcoal, pencils. I might do a demonstration of one with just black felt tip pen. You can create quite nice bold imagery with just colouring in alternate black and white. So this is quite loose, quite rough, but you could always go back in and add another layer to kind of close off the rough bits as well. Here's 3 examples of different finished pieces using different techniques and different materials. I look forward to seeing what everyone can come up with, and I'll see you in lesson 3.